If I told you there was a computer the size of the entire planet that no single person, government, or corporation could shut down, you might think I'm quoting a sci-fi novel. But that is exactly what Ethereum is. It isn't just a digital coin, it's a global, programmable machine where code is law.
Wait, a global computer? I thought we were talking about crypto. Is this just Bitcoin with a fancy paint job, or are we actually talking about something that does more than just sit in a digital wallet?
It is massive, Jordan. While Bitcoin is digital gold, a way to store value, Ethereum is more like a digital city. It's the infrastructure that allows people to build apps, create art, and even run banks without any actual bankers involved. Today we're breaking down how a 19-year-old's vision changed the internet forever. Our story starts in 2013 with a skinny, incredibly bright programmer named Vitalik Buterin. At the time, he was a writer for Bitcoin magazine. He saw the genius of Bitcoin's blockchain, but he also saw its biggest flaw. It was built to do exactly one thing: transfer money.
So essentially, Bitcoin was like a calculator. It's great at math, but you can't exactly use it to browse the web or play a game. Vitalik wanted a smartphone version.
Exactly. He argued that the blockchain should have a built-in programming language. He wanted developers to be able to write their own rules and build any application they could imagine on top of it. He took this idea to the Bitcoin developers, but they turned him down. They wanted to keep Bitcoin simple and secure.
I'm guessing he didn't just pack it up and go home. How do you go from being rejected by the Bitcoin elites to launching a multi-billion-dollar platform?
He gathered a group of co-founders, including names that are now legendary in the space, like Gavin Wood and Charles Hoskinson. They didn't have a giant VC firm backing them initially. Instead, they held one of the first major crowd sales in 2014, raising over $18 million in Bitcoin to fund the development. On July the 30th, 2015, the network officially went live with its first block, known as Frontier. Once the network launched, it introduced the world to smart contracts. These aren't legal documents with fancy signatures. They are pieces of code that automatically execute an action when certain conditions are met. If I send you a digital file, the smart contract automatically releases the payment. No middleman, no escrow, no waiting.
That sounds efficient, but who actually uses this? Is it just for tech geeks trading digital monster cards?
It started that way, but it exploded into two massive movements. First came decentralized finance, or DeFi. Suddenly, people were using Ethereum to create decentralized versions of banks. You could lend out your crypto to earn interest or take out a loan without ever filling out a credit application or talking to a loan officer.
Okay, but if the code is the only thing in charge, what happens if the code breaks or if someone finds a loophole? That sounds like a recipe for a digital heist.
You hit the nail on the head. In 2016, a project called the DAO, a decentralized investment fund, got hacked because of a flaw in its code. An anonymous user siphoned off about $50 million. It caused a civil war in the community. They eventually decided to roll back the blockchain to return the funds, which led to a permanent split in the network. It was a brutal lesson that in Ethereum, the code really is the law, but people still have to write that code.
So we've got digital banks and coding wars. What about the green aspect? I remember hearing that these networks use as much electricity as small countries. Is Ethereum just burning the planet down to run these apps?
That was the biggest criticism for years. Ethereum originally used proof of work, where powerful computers raced to solve puzzles to secure the network. But in September 2022, they pulled off one of the most incredible feats in software history called the merge. They swapped out the entire engine of the blockchain while it was still running.
Like changing the engine of a plane while it's mid-flight at 30,000 feet?
Very much so. They moved to proof of stake. This eliminated the need for those massive mining rigs. Overnight, Ethereum's energy consumption dropped by more than 99.9%. It stopped being an environmental nightmare and became a sustainable platform for the long term. Today, Ethereum is the backbone of the NFT craze and the entire Web3 movement. When you hear about digital artists selling work for millions or people owning digital land, they are almost always using Ethereum. It has the second largest market cap in the world trailing only Bitcoin, but it has far more daily activity in terms of actual usage.
So Bitcoin is the store of value like gold in a vault, but Ethereum is the actual internet infrastructure. If it disappeared tomorrow, a whole economy of apps and finance would just vanish with it.
That's the reality. It has fundamentally changed how we think about ownership and trust. We used to need big banks and tech giants to verify who owns what. Ethereum allows the network to verify that for us. It's moving us away from a world of don't be evil, Google's old motto, to a world of can't be evil because the code simply won't allow it.
It's basically the ultimate accountability machine.
Exactly. It's not just a currency, it's a new way to organize human society without central gatekeepers.
This has been a lot to process. What's the one thing to remember about Ethereum?
Ethereum is the world's first programmable blockchain, allowing anyone to build decentralized applications that are governed by code rather than corporations.
That's Wikipodia. Every story on demand. Search your next topic at wikipedia.ai.